up, guys? Welcome to another video. Today we'll be reviewing Shazam! Fury of the Gods. This is came out on Friday and is directed by David F. Sandberg and stars Zachary Levi and Helen Mirren. Now, before we start, don't forget to like button, subscribe, post notification bell so you know for every video, and let's just start. So let's start talking about the good. So all the action in this film, I thought they're all great, especially Zachary Levi, who plays Billy Batson, and all the kids and the superheroes. I thought that everyone in this film was very good. The opening sequence, I thought it was a good horror-like sequence. The Daughters of Atlas are in a museum. They're trying to steal a staff. They turn everyone into these zombie-like creatures, and then they turn everyone into stone. It was very creepy in the way they were doing it, and I thought it worked very well for the overall tone of the film. The cinematography, which includes the shots, cameras, the lighting, is very well done. I really enjoyed the action sequences in this film. The flying sequences and the action sequences both look phenomenal, and they do look better than the first Shazam film. The CGI I thought was very well done. The lightning, everything that has to do with the CGI, DC did a very good job with that aspect of the film. I think DC is doing a much better job with the cinematography and the CGI than Marvel is. Marvel is doing a terrible job with CGI right now, but DC is just pushing, going stronger with that CGI. So I thought the CGI was very, very well done. The first of the film was good. I think it set up the new villains very well. You already have that family dynamic between the Shazam family, and it explores that a little more, but the first half of the film did a great job with setting up the villains. The family dynamic is great. Just like the previous film, I thought the first film, while it did have a good villain, played by Mark Strong, and it was funny, I think the main aspect of the film was the family dynamic, and it is once again very present in this film. Hespera, played by Helen Mirren, is a great villain. I really enjoyed her performance. Helen Mirren is very, very good in this film. I don't think she's as good as a villain as Dr. Sivana. I really enjoyed Dr. Sivana. That character was very entertaining for me, but she is a very, very good villain. This is more serious than the first film. While it does have its comedy, it does have a more serious tone than the first film. First film was unable to balance the seriousness with the comedy. This one, I think it balances it just right. The first Shazam sequence, where they all say Shazam, they turn into superheroes with the family, is great. I really, really enjoy that sequence. It's very fun. There's saving people on a falling bridge, and there's the Holding Out for a Hero song during the entire scene. It was awesome. The second half of the film I thought was also well done. It progresses the story well. I thought the characters got more and more interesting as we progress, and the villains, it gives them more time to do villainous things in that second act, which they do a lot of villainous things in this film. There's also a great scene where the Daughters of Atlas, they steal the staff from Shazam, played by Jamon Hunsu. They steal his staff, and I thought that overall scene was great because it shows how powerful those Daughters of Atlas really are. There's also a hilarious scene where Shazam and Wonder Woman, they go on a date, and it is one of the funniest sequences in this film, because he was talking about Wonder Woman the entire time until he actually goes out on that date with Wonder Woman. So I thought that was a great scene. There's also another great scene where Freddy, played by Jack Dylan Grazer, who was very good in this film, and Billy, they have a conversation at school about the Daughters of Atlas, and of course they're trying to keep it quiet because they are superheroes. Nobody knows that. And I thought it was a great scene with those two characters. There's also another great scene where Freddy goes on a date with Rosa Vasquez, played by Marta Milans. Freddy is obviously very awkward, and it adds to the comedy for that sequence. There's also another great scene where the Daughters of Atlas, they steal Freddy's powers and take him away to a wizard prison. That sequence was very well done, just with the CGI, how the Daughters of Atlas actually take the kid's powers, and he ends up getting locked away with the wizard. There are many terrifying sequences in this film, and by terrifying, I mean that the villains do very terrible things, but in gruesome ways. The Daughters of Atlas, they kill people in this film, a lot of people, and the creatures that get released from these egg-like cocoon things, and they terrorize the people in the town. It's very, very scary for this type of film, and David F. Sandberg does have a horror background, so him adding those elements into this film worked very, very well. There are also many hilarious sequences, especially with Billy Batson and every person in the Shazam family, as well as Shazam himself, played by Jamon Hunsu. They're all very, very funny. The score by Christoph Beck, I thought it was great. I really, really enjoyed the score for this film. The third act of the film, I thought it was great. The Daughters of Atlas versus Billy Batson. It is very, very long, but it is very interesting at the same time with what they do with those characters. There's also a great scene where Hesper is impaled because she disagrees with Calypso, played by Lucy Liu. Calypso was the secondary villain in this film until you get to that third act, where she ends up being betrayed by her sister or her wizard friend, and I think it gave her another level to that character. But like I said, which I'll get to later about Lucy Liu's character, she was pretty dull. Um, there's another great scene where Shazam family, except Billy, they're on the horses fighting all these monsters. It was very, very well done. There's another great scene where Billy saves Freddy from Calypso and the Dragon. He flies in there and he takes him and saves him. Um, there's another great sequence that had me thinking about what they were going to do with it. Billy fights Calypso and the Dragon. Calypso ends up dying and Billy dies. Of course, we all know that Shazam himself is not going to die, but the way they did it, I thought it worked for the film. There's also the great ending sequence where Wonder Woman play Gal Gadot arrives and she saves Billy. Everyone gets their powers back. The Shazam family has a dinner, and Shazam himself, played by Digimon Hunsu, takes his staff back. I thought it worked because it concluded the film very well. Then there's a great post-credit sequence where Billy speaks with Amanda Waller's former staff, and he's asked to join the Justice Society or Hawkman's group. It was very funny because he thought he was joining the Justice League, but it really was the Justice Society. So I thought that was a very funny sequence and a great ending sequence. That's all the good that I have. Now let's move on to the bad. So the Daughters of Atlas, to me, they're not as good as Dr. Sivana, played by Mark Strong, in the Seven Deadly Sins. They're still good villains. I really enjoyed the performances by Helen Mirren, but as a villain themselves, I think I enjoy Dr. Sivana more. That's about it. Shazam Fury of the Gods is a fantastic sequel that is, for me, on the same level as the previous film, and I highly recommend it, and I'm going to give Shazam Fury of the Gods a B+. Thank you for watching. If you like, please subscribe to the post notification bell so you know for a video. I'm Peter. Thank you for watching.